All right, what's up, guys? How's it going? I thought I would do a quick live stream today since the hot topic that everybody seems to be talking about is this coronavirus. And all day I've kind of been thinking, okay, what do I want to say inside of the King's Code about this? And so there's three primary things that I want to just express because there is a lot. I think we can all agree there is a lot of fear. And there seems to be on social media and all these things two extremes. There's one that's like, hey, this is a scam, this is a hoax, this is not that big of a deal, whatever. Then there's the other crowd that's like taking it to extremes and buying up all the toilet paper, you know. And so, regardless of where you stand, regardless, I want to point out three things that I believe is relevant for you and for me as a man in how we should be viewing this and how we should be going about just handling this on a day-to-day basis, because it is hard when there is this much fear and anxiety on the topic. I mean, it's nuts, and I've been hearing about it all day from guys that I see usually on a daily basis to clients who happen to be and specialize in pandemic situations. So I'm hearing about it from every side, right? And so I started thinking, how are we supposed to view this, and how does it affect us on a daily basis as men, as entrepreneurs, as men that's in the marketplace, and as men of faith? So there's three things that I want to point out. Number one, because if you're on this page, there is a very good chance that you are a man and a man of faith. And so our faith, I am a firm believer in this, our faith should be something that is completely relevant and included in every area of our life. I don't believe in compartmentalizing that area or really any area, but to say I have my little faith box and it just stays there. And so when I'm working and I'm in the marketplace, my faith doesn't count. Well, I think that is foolishness. I think faith should totally be implemented inside of your life. Okay. So with that being said, I wanted to cover two quick things because we are men of faith. It is important to echo and get in you. What does God have to say about this? What does the Bible have to say about this? Now, number one, the first verse I just wanted to bring up is Psalms 91. Now, chances are all of you guys remember this, and I'll let you guys read the whole chapter. But I do want to point out, even in Psalms 91:3, it does say, surely he shall deliver me from the snare of the fowler and the noisome pestilence. And that pestilence literally is like a fatal epidemic, and especially with plagues and so forth. And so it's one of those things where we need to say, if we are going to walk by faith, we're going to walk by faith in every area of life and not allow fear to dictate my beliefs. And if we are men of faith, then that is a verse that we need to make sure that we're living by. The other verse that I do want to bring up to you real quick is Philippians 4:6. Because we are being bombarded on every side. And so it is our responsibility as men and men of faith to say, okay, I'm going to apply what the Bible says in this area of my life. I'm not discounting that there could be a legitimacy to a sickness or whatever, and I believe we should walk with common sense. So wash your hands. But the one verse that I want to bring up, or last verse I want to bring up is Philippians 4:6. And I'm sure you're familiar with it. I'm going to read two different translations. One would be in nothing be anxious, but in everything. So I want to clarify, in nothing be anxious, but in everything, by prayer and supplication, make your thanksgiving. Supplication with thanksgiving, let your requests be made known unto God. Now, I want to read the Amplified. It says, do not fret or have anxiety about anything, including the coronavirus. But in every circumstance and in everything, by prayer and supplication, or prayer and petition, which is definite request with thanksgiving, continue to make your wants known to God. So it is our responsibility as men to be lifting these things up in prayer and getting God's opinion. Which leads me to the second thing I really want to bring up is we are not only men of faith, but we are men that are rising up as kings unto the King of Kings. And I've been saying that since day one. And it is our responsibility as men and as kings that are rising up unto the King of Kings, to have and express God's opinion on this matter, not what the news is saying. And again, I am not saying discount common sense. I'm not saying that. But when I'm saying when fear is starting to dictate our beliefs or causing us to hold back, walking by faith, then there's an issue and there is a problem. So as a man, and as a man that is rising up as a king, you are also a leader, and there are people watching you. There are people watching me, people watching you. In your sphere of influence, inside of your realm, you have people looking up to you. And it is your responsibility to ensure that you are walking in wisdom and in peace, knowing what God says, and really not spreading fear. The Bible says, be wise and cunning as serpents, but innocent as doves. So be wise. Bible has much to say about that. Be wise. Walk in wisdom. Absolutely. But nowhere does it say give in to fear. In fact, it says quite the opposite. Fear not, fear not, fear not. Be anxious for nothing. On all these things, but in everything, with thanksgiving, make your requests known to God. That's your responsibility as a man and a man of God and as a king. So it is your job to lead your families to greatness and lead your families by faith, knowing that, hey, regardless of what everybody's saying, regardless of what could happen, I am still going to walk by faith. I'm not discounting, and I'm certainly not kicking common sense to the curb, but I'm not going to be dictated by fear. Does that make sense? So the last thing I want to say about this real quick here, and I'm just checking live stream here, make sure we're still good. The last thing that I really want to express is, because many of you are in business and entrepreneurial minded, regardless of any kind of sickness or colds, coughs, anything of the coronavirus, there is still a possibility that all of us will be affected. And what do I mean by that is affected more by the economy. And I think there's exciting times ahead. This is not a time to be looking out of fear. You got to put your faith lenses on, because I think there is a bunch of amazing opportunity that is here and now, right now. We like quoting quotes that we find on social media, turn your obstacles into opportunities. But then when we're faced with something like this, people start freaking out. But those that are solid and grounded and walking with wisdom, walking with common sense, walking the way God's telling you to walk as kings unto the King of Kings, now we can see things from a different perspective and look for the opportunities to be able to incorporate your business, your tribe, whatever your sphere of influence is, to ensure that you are marching and moving forward and being able to use this as an opportunity to be able to spread hope, faith, and all those things, but also financially, how can you incorporate this? You have a tribe. Forget the family tribe right now. Think of your community, your tribe, your movement that you have within your business. You have the opportunity to move forward and be able to, instead of continuing to spread that fear, you can now move forward and say, you know what, I'm not going to do this thing. The community and the movement that I am leading and marching and moving forward, I am rising up as a king saying, this isn't touching my land. And I'm going to make sure that my tribe, my movement, my community are in line with that and encouraged by that. And maybe you're shaking off the fear and using it to incorporate in your business, not just your brand messaging, but the actual culture of your business. And then you will see opportunities to incorporate, whether it's new services, new partnerships, new agreements in your business to continue to prompt your business and move it forward with great profitability. Because while everyone's freaking out, there is always opportunity. When everyone's focused on one thing, there is plenty of opportunity over here. So again, I just want to encourage you guys to be able to continue to stand up, rise up as a king unto the King of Kings, walking and moving the way God has intended you and called you to do and to be, and to really not be dictated, not be influenced by fear and anxiety and worry, and saying, where is the opportunities? Where is the opportunities for me to shine bright and make things happen and produce much fruit in the land that God has given me? All right, guys, until next time, God bless. This is the code that we live by, the King's Code, where we are taking our walk with God seriously as men, rising up as kings, kings under the King of Kings. We'll see you in the next video, guys. God bless and have a good weekend.